The Yellow Deli. Sounds innocent enough, right? Maybe so. Doesn't sound very appetizing, but apparently it is because a lot of people go there. It's a restaurant chain that prides itself on wholesome, homemade food like hot steamed sandwiches, fresh salads, and desserts like sweet potato pound cake. And the real story about the Yellow Deli
Ugh.
will turn your stomach like the description does mine. It starts with a sandwich, but it ends with mind control, child labor, and the loss of personal freedom. Now, you think you're walking into a cozy cafe, and while I don't like the name, apparently the environment is quite inviting. But you're actually walking into a cult. Let me give you some headlines. Review: sandwiches are great. Too bad they fund a cult. South Shore cult elder guilty of child rape to serve at least 30 years in prison. Another one. Cult-run Yellow Deli gets rave reviews across U.S. as escaped members dish on fears behind closed doors. The Southern Poverty Law Center and other experts classified the 12 Tribes, the group that owns and staffs Yellow Deli, as a straight-up cult. The Yellow Deli presents with a friendly front. They've got about 15 local cafes across the country with really comfortable handcrafted decor. They have warm lighting, wooden booths, they play soft music, and some of these are open 24 hours a day. And I'm going to tell you there's a reason behind that, because people that are up at all hours of the night are sometimes living on the fringe and looking for a place to be. And the Yellow Deli is more than happy to give them a place to land, a way to belong. They have handwritten menus, friendly staff, and they present in vintage attire. There's a real community vibe here, and you have to remember, the number one need in all people is acceptance and belonging. And the number one fear is rejection. So you take that and create an environment. I mean, what do you hear in Cheers? You want to go where everybody knows your name. You want a soft place to be, a soft place to fall. You want to have a sense of belonging, and they're selling that. Customers are welcome like family. Everybody knows their name. They're offered meals in a non-judgmental environment. The setting feels like an escape from the stress of everyday life. They have a sense of trust and belonging. But what's behind the curtain? The Yellow Deli cafes are operated by 12 Tribes religious sect, and this was founded in Tennessee during the 70s. And the members have a lot of expectations once they start getting involved, like relinquishing personal belongings and live a communal lifestyle based on strict interpretations of Old Testament law. Now, all the employees at Yellow Deli work for free. They don't get paid a dime, and they're all members of the 12 Tribes. And so what's lifestyle like within this group? I mean, because you say, hey, listen, if they're nice people and they're giving you a soft place to fall, what's the problem? They run their own farms, kitchens, and even educational systems. Children are educated internally through scriptural study. Sounds okay, right? Maybe a little out of tune, a little out of step, but what's the problem? Well, there are pretty strict rules that apply. No phones, no independent media, no questioning of leadership dogma. And serious allegations have been leveled. Very strict control over members' lives. No independent thinking. Leaving the group often means being cut off from family, cut off from support, if you're going to live in that group. Physical punishment and abuse. One interviewee alleged that the 12 Tribes' punishment included being beaten with a rod and having your wife or children sexually assaulted by cult members. And sexual abuse? FBI interviews have documented allegations of sexual abuse within the 12 tribe communities across the United States.
Well, 37-year-old Nehemiah Smith and those two girls were all members of the 12 Tribes religious organization when he raped and abused them.
Last year, one cult elder, as I said, was found guilty of child rape, got 30 years in prison. And the child discipline practices read like rods. Ex-members report beatings enough that caused bleeding or collapse because they were beaten 20 to 30 times a day. And child labor, authorities in the U.S. and Germany have conducted raids uncovering underage children working in sweatshop environments, in kitchens and factories. There's a complete degrading of women. They're expected to be submissive. They have to dress to a certain code and raise children according to group rules. And like I said, when you come in, you give up all your possessions, whether you have a little or a lot, work long hours without pay. How do you get people to do this? Well, these cults, they all operate the same way. And you think, this would not work on me. And it doesn't work on everybody, but there is a certain segment of the population that is desperate to find a place to belong, a place to fit in. And they prey on those people. A Yellow Deli staff member will come and say, hey, come for a meal, join us for a Bible study, visit the communal farm. And then you get love bombed. New recruits are overwhelmed with displays of affection and attention to create that immediate sense of belonging. So you take somebody that is maybe wandering the street, or they feel marginalized by their family. Maybe they've been disowned. Nobody talks to them at work. They can't find a job. They've been judged by everybody. Then all of a sudden, by contrast, here are people that are like, the queen has arrived. The king has arrived. My God, we love you. You're interesting. You're funny. You're insightful. You're smart. Say more about that. We want to hear what you have to say. They offer housing. They tell you you're so important to us. Your work would mean so much to us. I don't know how we've gotten along without you. We want to be your family. And they get you depending on this mentally and emotionally. And then they've got their hooks in you, and they make sure to cut you off from everybody else. Cut ties with outsiders if you had ties. And the narrative is, we love you. We accept you. We don't judge you. We are the safe place to be. It's us versus them, and you're one of us. And then finally, they rewire your whole identity. They often take away your clothes. They put you in some kind of uniform to dehumanize you and make you part of their fabric. Your schedule, your beliefs, even your language is controlled. All for your salvation because they love you so much. It's the allure of hope, emotional vulnerability that you come with, and that sense of belongingness to overcome the loneliness and isolation that you felt before. There's this ideology that you start getting rewired into your brain. And it's a gradual indoctrination, and you rely on them for everything: food, housing, acceptance, comfort. And they create this conflict between you, them, and the rest of the world. It's a brotherhood. It's a bond. It's them versus us, and we got your back. And remember, you might walk in for a sandwich, but you might never walk out. There is no free lunch. The cost might be your freedom, your family, and your sense of self. And when comfort and acceptance is used to hide control, it's like a velvet hammer. And it's one you need to be alert to. If it seems too good to be true, there's a reason. And the reason is, it is not the real story. If you want to hear the real story every day, make sure you click below. Hit the subscribe button, hit the follow button. Make sure you don't miss an episode. Because every day I'm going to be here talking about things that matter to people who care. Tell your friends, tell your family. We want this to spread like wildfire, and thanks to you, it is. I'll see you next time.